Hey, good morning everybody. Thanks for tuning back in with Concrete with the Hosses. If this is your first time, where can you see me here? If this is your first time tuning in to us, thanks for joining us. We do concrete just about every day, and just try and video different aspects of it and cover different bits and pieces of our techniques and what we do every day. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're a regular viewer, thanks for coming back and watching us, and show you today's project here. We poured this driveway yesterday. Everything went real well. It was a little bit windy, made it a little bit harder to finish, but it wasn't that bad. It went really well. We got a lot of concrete on the ground. If I had to guess what we did yesterday, excuse me, maybe 45 yards. And it turned out real nice. Our good corner protection down here, I talk about this quite often. When we don't do this, we get calls. When we do this, we get 0 phone calls on that. These corners always crack. That is a must if you're doing a driveway. If you're having a driveway done, one of the things you might want to point out to your concrete guy, you want these cuts in there. Otherwise, you'll see that corner cracked. And I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So the guys are pouring just a small stamp patio around back. We're power buggying that around there. I'm gonna finish getting this porch ready. I'm working on the front door sill right now. And before I get it on, I wanted to show you how we do this. We hate nailing and screwing into this stone. It's all finished, looking real nice. We blast a screw or a Tapcon in there. It just doesn't, you know, got to patch that little hole, then you see that repair. So we run screws in, we twist our wire tie around the screws, and you see how tight we get that on there. So we do 3 of those on a 6-foot sill. We come in a foot, put a screw, center, in a foot. Now I can punch a hole through this and we send that wire right through the 2x8, and we can twist it and make it nice and tight. It almost always holds it so tight we don't need any pins for height. It's just a really nice setup of how we find to attach our forming material to finished product. So just wanted to talk about that. We went ahead and drilled some holes in here. This is all fill from the overdig. So we'll put some rebar in that wall. And not only do we drill through the stone, we drill into the cement foundation wall. If you just go into that stone, that's just on like a wire mesh, almost like a chicken wire mesh. And that could pull it right off the wall. That's not designed to hold any concrete weight. So that's why we go through that into the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting this ready, and we'll pour this front porch, and then we're going to prep this sidewalk and get this poured today too. So we'll get some of that on video for you. Stay tuned. Pull everything nice and tight, and just wrap it around that nail. I didn't even twist them tight yet, and you see how it's holding. One thing I want to point out, the wire comes through the board, wraps around the nail. Then I bend the nail away from the hole. I don't bend it towards the hole, bend it away from the hole, and that locks that wire in there. Then I take my quick square, just run it right down the trim. Get it right there. then I take a small nail, 8-penny nail, and put it between the wire, and I twist it the same way that I twisted it around the screw. And that really tightens it. If you twist it too much, you'll bow it in. So just be careful you don't do that. There we go. And I'm good for height. So then what I do there, you can see how it's not flush on that. Sometimes I cut these and notch them in there, but this is pretty flush stone, will be fine. But I gotta get a mark on there somewhere. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna have to put a pin or two in this to hold it up. You stand back and look at that sill and make sure you're even with the door sill. So I just put a little bit of gravel against the wall, flatten it down, put a little bit of more gravel in there. I don't want to tamp against that wall, so I just take the bucket and compress it a little bit, and we're rotted in, so when that settles a little bit, and we know it's going to settle a little bit. And just a little background on it. This has been sitting here for about, I don't know, 9 or 10 months. So it did settle a little bit. It wasn't that soft, but it's going to settle a little bit. Let's just all agree on that. We're rotted into the wall. It'll bridge right across. So what we want to do next, we want to be even with that overhang right there. So we could pull a plumb bob, get up on a ladder, do a board and a level. But what is easier is this laser level from Kuwait's. So we just moved that. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of light out now. See that green line up there? Probably can't see it, but I can see it. And I just moved that green line in until I'm right on that corner. And it's right on my form. Right there. Now I just mark that with a pencil and I'm all set. Okay, we're jumping all around here this morning. We poured this stamp patio yesterday. Just did some saw cuts this morning. I like them when they come off of the corners. That's a key place for it to crack, so we get a relief there. Center, and then we divide these up. This is a 7 by 5 foot pad. Coming off of the house, we're tied in here and we're tied in here. So if anything needs to move, it's going to crack right down here. So we come off about 2 or 3 feet and we run a cut parallel with the house. One long ways down the middle. We should be good coverage that way. Steve's going to start cleaning and then we'll give it a scrub and then we'll put the antiquing on it. Go ahead, Steve. Thanks. These guys are finishing up the little stamp pad down here. Oh, I missed it all. They're all done. So this is a simple 10 by 10. Looks good. Okay, so as the patio is drying, we're mixing up a fresh batch of the Hermetique. So we use a full scoop right into the sprayer. And I have this full up to about halfway. Patio this size, we won't even use it all. But you want to make sure you mix up enough so you don't run out when you're almost done. Give it a good shake. I think this is better than stirring. Give us nice shakes. Okay, I was delayed out front when Steven was sealing it, or putting the color on this, so you saw how he did it. Just a nice even coat everywhere, and you can see how it settles in all the pores. So those will be all shaded areas, give you that two-tone look. Look how nice that's going to look when it's sealed. So same thing here. He just missed the front of that step. You don't want to see it running down the front, but you want to see some color in there. So we're going to go ahead and antique that lower pad, probably in minutes. Just needs to dry a little bit more. The guys just finished pouring that front porch, and I am just jumping back and forth, putting out all kind of fires here today. So hopefully we get some good footage of that front sidewalk and get this project all wrapped up. So there's the front porch all poured. Like I said, I missed this. I was around back with Steven. We'll get some good footage on finishing this. We're going to do a cut center window, a cut off of this corner, and a cut off of this corner. And we should be well protected as far as crack protection. We wanted this face is about 10 inches thick, maybe a little thicker. The whole thing's about 8 inches thick. We like to pour these pretty heavy duty. We're rotted into the building so that when this settles a little bit, we're stable. We're just bridge right over any little gap that settles next to the overdig, and we'll have enough mass there to accomplish that. We have our rebar sticking out to tie into our front sidewalk, which we're going to go ahead and get that ready right now. Okay, concrete porch is setting up pretty nicely. It's been sitting here 15-20 minutes. It's just about ready to get some cuts in there. We jumped on this front walk. It turned out real nice. So we come out, I'm standing with my back to the front door. Come on, nice and wide here. We're almost 6 foot wide, nice and inviting coming in, and we go into a nice curve right to the driveway. This is 4 foot wide at the narrowest, and then, thank you, Jim. Right there, we flare it open at the driveway. So again, back to about 6 foot wide. I'll turn and get you another view on there from this. I think that's going to look real nice. They'll do some nice landscaping in here. They got about 8 to 10 feet of area to get some bushes, different layers of landscaping. Okay, so this is the last thing we're going to pour here. We're going to come back in the spring and do the street walk after they get some dirt and landscaping in here. So we'll get this stoned. Concrete is ordered, heading this way. Okay, so that's how we're dividing it up. I forgot to mention this little corner here. We just like to get some relief off of every little obstacle in the concrete. Center, corner, and corner. So Steve's finishing up cuts now. We'll go ahead and jump on and get some footage of finishing that door sill. Now on front porches, what we typically do, just a straight broom, no finish edge mark. We don't want them coming out of the door and slipping on anything. So just a straight broom everywhere. I'll head inside and broom that sill. So we just start at the driveway and pull 5-foot increments down the sidewalk, laying out our cuts. And we do that, we do the 5s on the long side. We don't want to do it on the short side and have longer than 5-footers over there. Like it's going to be pretty close. So that one's going to be about, what, 6?
Yeah, 6.
And that's okay. We're nice and wide here. So we'll make this one 5'6" and this one 5'6", leaving that cut right there. So Jim, give me a 5'6" off of that one. And that's going to be really close. Okay, that way these two pads are even and they're wider. That'll look really good. Okay, concrete's a little bit soft yet. Our final truck is cleaning up, getting out of here. What a surprise. Clouds are moving in. So as I was straight edging, I floated this, you know, keeping that nice and even so that it's all ready just to be edged. You don't want this low or high. You can scrape a little bit and just lay it right in the corners if needed. You want these nice and full for your final edging. That's what you're looking for there. A little bit of down pressure, but mainly you want to stay flat, cleaning that form off, nice and flat and slow. Now our curved material, that's just AZAC, 1x4 trim boards. They're PVC. You can screw them together and reuse them many times. Something that helps us move fairly quickly, you know, while we're edging this, we got guys loading machinery, cleaning up, scraping the road. Really no downtime. You just keep pushing forward, keep getting stuff done. Okay, so we are cutting every 5 foot. we have our scratches in the concrete. And you just sight those across and make them look square with the outside form, and then turn it as we get in to the front porch. And two guys follow up behind, just lightly floating. It doesn't take a whole lot to rub this and get it where we want it. Slow and flat. Keep all of that cream up on the surface where we need it for protection. Now once we get over to here, we don't want this cut just stopping, so we're going to Y this off of this pad. It makes it look nice. It helps protect these bigger pads. So check that out when we're done. Okay, Tom's brooming the sidewalk now. Nice and slow. Looking pretty good. He'll follow them up with the edgers and joiners. So with it just about dry, I'm going to start cutting in the edge. Okay. Now the shearing's done, I can just go ahead and get spraying. So I like to do like one square at a time, from saw cut to saw cut. Just dusting it on. You don't want to get it all on at one time. 2 light coats. Just dusting that face of that step. You don't want to see it running down there. See how it just brings the color right out? Boy, does that look nice. I like how it goes with the house. Well, as I was spraying that patio, they're finishing everything up here. Looks nice.
Why are you so surprised?
I am not. Okay, cleanup time. So there it is with final coat on. Majestic Ashler Slate, gray concrete with storm gray antiquing. It's a real nice look, and I really like it with the color of this house back here. That is such a nice match. Not identical, but it's just a nice complement to each other. So that's all done back here. They can walk on that tomorrow. The driveway's 100% good to walk on. They can drive on this in about 10 days. The SRT was just applied to this. This will dry crystal clear, and that'll give us real good winter protection. All right, that's a wrap. We are heading out of here, gonna go dig out a patio and get ready for tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. See you on the next one.